friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Amanda. So in today's What's for Dinner video, I've got some really easy budget meal ideas for y'all. These are also meatless meals, so you know they're so delicious though you're not going to miss the meat. You know, meat is one of the most expensive parts of our grocery budget, so I think it's great when we can throw in some of those you know, meal ideas that kind of leave that off and help us a little bit, you know, in our pocketbook. We really enjoy these. I really think that y'all will too. Stay tuned also after the recipes to see my Nutstop haul. It was really fun to share that with y'all as well. I've got some goodies that I'm going to be showing y'all what that we got from them. I also have a discount code linked below, so make sure you check that out. And give me a thumbs up if you're excited to get into these recipes, but let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's get started on our classic minestrone soup. Now I'm using a new template for the title card, so let me know if y'all like that one or if you prefer the old one better down in the comments below, because I'm still kind of undecided on it. So I've just got some oil I've added to my pan, and I'm adding some onion. I think that was a whole chopped onion that I did, and we're going to go ahead and saute that. Now you're just going to want to kind of soften it, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our tomato paste. I did this just a little different than the instructions because I'm actually going to use some canned veggies instead of like fresh veggies, except for of course the onions, because I had those on hand and I wanted to use them up. So this made really good use of them. It would make this recipe even easier because I didn't have to chop anything else. I just chopped my onion, and then you know my veggies are already chopped in the can, so I just drained them and then I pour them in here and I go ahead and saute them for just a little bit. I also added some garlic in here. Probably should have done that with the onion, but this worked just fine, so that's okay. And we're also going to add in some seasonings in here. We're going to add some oregano and thyme, and we're just going to let this cook for just a second. Obviously, if you were using fresh veggies, you're going to, you know, trying to cook them down just a little bit. So I still just let them cook a little bit to get the seasonings, you know, kind of on them, get the tomato paste incorporated with everything. And then we're going to add in a couple of cans of petite diced tomatoes. I like the petite ones better because I don't like just huge chunks of tomatoes and stuff like that I eat. Like at least when they're cooked, like I love just regular tomatoes. But and we're also using some vegetable broth here. And then I'm going to add in the seasonings, the remaining seasonings, which is like a couple of bay leaves, a little bit of red pepper flakes, some ground black pepper. I think I actually ended up putting a little bit of garlic salt in here too. Not a lot, but just a little, because I use like the low sodium vegetable broth, so I kind of wanted a little bit of salt in there. We're going to let it come to a boil, and then we're going to cover it, but kind of leave the lid kind of off center a little bit, and you are going to just want to simmer it. So you want to turn it down just a little bit and let it simmer for 15 minutes. Then we're going to add in our pasta and our beans and some spinach. Now I used frozen spinach and that worked fine. I didn't even thaw it or anything like that, and it's cannellini beans I think is what I used, but I didn't even have to thaw the spinach. It is going to cool that down a little bit, so just keep that in mind. You might have to cook it a little longer just to get that you know, kind of thawed out good and everything. But this is going to cook for an additional 20 minutes, and your pasta should be cooked. Everything should be ready to go. And then we're going to go ahead and stir in a couple of teaspoons of lemon juice, and make sure to remove those bay leaves. And of course, here's where you would taste it. See if you want to add any more salt. See if you want to add any more pepper, you know, anything like that you might want to add to it. But this was so delicious. I topped mine with a little bit of just Parmesan cheese, and I served it with a grilled cheese. I just love soup, especially like fall is coming up soon, so I know that all the soups are going to be like, you know, on our minds. And this would be a great one to make. I really like the cannellini beans. I think sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen kidney beans sometimes be used in this kind of soup, minestrone, but I really like the cannellini beans a lot. So I just made a grilled cheese to serve with this because, you know, I mean, what goes better with soup than a grilled cheese, right? So this was very delicious. I'll have the recipe linked down below in the description box. And as always, if y'all make any of these recipes I share, I would definitely love to hear about it in the comments below. So next up, we have easy tostadas with Mexican rice. So since the tostadas are so easy, we're going to get started on our rice first. I've just got a couple cups of rice. I use jasmine and some oil in my pan. I'm just coating the rice with the oil, and we're going to kind of saute it over medium heat. and kind of toast up the rice. Once it starts getting toasty, we'll go ahead and add in our seasonings and toast it for just another minute or two. And that's just some Mexican oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, all that good stuff. And then once that's cooked for just another minute, we're going to go ahead and add in our liquid ingredients, which is like chicken broth and tomato paste. Now, you want to be real careful when you pour that chicken broth in there because the pot is very hot. So just kind of might want to stand back just a little bit so it doesn't splatter you or anything. But once we get this in here, we're going to just make sure we get all that rice, kind of scraped down from there. I think I missed some, looks like, on there, but I got it later. And then we're going to bring it to a boil, turn it down to kind of low. I think I'd do like about a 2 or a little before the 2. And we're just going to let it simmer for 20 minutes. And then once 20 minutes has passed, it should look like this. It's all good. Fluff it up and get ready to serve it. And of course, like I said, the tostadas are so easy to make. I just baked the tostada shells for just a few minutes in the oven. And I've got some refried beans here I've heated up. And this is really where you can get creative. Put on here whatever you liked. Kind of, all your dream toppings for kind of tacos and things like that. This is a great, vessel for that. I'm just adding some cheese. And I also add a little bit of salsa, sour cream, and some cut up avocado. I also think, of course, jalapenos would be great on this. Lettuce. I was out of lettuce, so if I had like some shredded lettuce, that would have been fantastic too. So really, you can just make this how you like. It's not really a recipe. It's just kind of a method, just how you'd like to, build them. But I always like the ones from Taco Bell. And so this was a nice way to make them at home and really yummy too. So, and y'all, I got really lucky on that avocado. It was like perfect. I think avocados can be like so frustrating because sometimes they just, seem like they'll be okay and you cut in there and they look horrible. So you just never know what you're going to get till you cut into them. But like I said, put on here whatever you want. If I had like fresh salsa, that would have been good too. Or like pico. Oh man, I love pico so much. Like I could just eat that by the spoonful with a chip or something. So that would be great. But these were just really hit the spot, especially with that Mexican rice. And that rice is so easy to make. And it would be great for meal prep too. Like if you want to meal prep that out, some Mexican rice with like some baked chicken or, whatever you want. So lots of ways to use that too. And we also have some broccoli pasta we're going to be making. This is a 1-pot meal, y'all. I love 1-pot meals. They save me on dishes and I appreciate that every single time I make one of these. So I've got some butter I've melted in my skillet. Now I've got some garlic that I'm just kind of sauteing for just a minute. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken broth and our half and half. We'll also go ahead and add in our seasoning, some onion powder, dried thyme, pepper, oregano, parsley, and I added just a little bit of the Kinder's buttery garlic in here too. My daughter makes a 1-pot pasta thing that she puts that in a lot of times, and it's so good in it. So I did add just a little bit of that. We're going to let this come up to a boil, and once it starts to boil, we're going to go ahead and add in our pasta. We'll let the pasta cook for just a little bit, and then we'll add in our broccoli, and then we'll cook it a little bit longer until it's done. And then we'll add in a couple other things. I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to tell you, my broccoli was bad. And so it does call for, I feel like it's fresh broccoli because it just said broccoli florets. So I think it was fresh broccoli. But fresh broccoli would definitely be great in here. But if you're out or yours is bad like mine was, definitely you can use frozen broccoli. What I did was I kind of slowly microwaved it a little bit till it was still, not quite done, but like to get some of the water out of it. And I just used a paper towel and kind of got all the water out of the bottom, and that worked perfectly. So definitely recommend using frozen if you don't have any fresh on hand. And you can probably swap out obviously any other veggies you like too. Now what you're going to really want to keep an eye here on is, your pasta getting done. Pay attention to the time on your pasta box. Kind of use that as a guideline, but I'd start checking it a little early just so you don't get it like overdone, because overdone pasta is never fun. But check it at like the maybe a minute before the lowest time, and then kind of keep an eye on it, and basically like whenever it gets to your liking, it's going to be done. And at that point we're going to add in some lemon juice and some Parmesan cheese. But y'all, this was delicious. There were no leftovers. So I think next time I need to double it because it was just so good. I can't recommend this recipe enough. And y'all, it was so simple. That is the kind of consistent thing about all these meals. They were super easy budget meals. Gets dinner on the table fast, quicker than you can go get to go. And that's the kind of thing I love, because like obviously, like, you know, eating out is expensive, so the more we can try to eat at home and we can control what goes in it, it's always nice. And I just sprinkled a little bit of parsley on top here just to make it look a little pretty, but we really love this. And don't forget to stay tuned for my Nutstop haul that's coming up next. So I hope y'all really enjoyed those recipes. Now I've got my Nutstop haul for y'all, and I realized I made a mistake, I think, when I was filming it. My favorite is the milk chocolate covered cherries. My husband's is the dark chocolate. I think when I filmed that I got those backwards. But oh my goodness, the chocolate covered cherries are so good. So if you like cherries, you like chocolate, definitely recommend those. But go ahead and stay tuned for this fun Nutstop haul. And thank you so much to Nutstop for sending these goodies to me. I really, you know, enjoy them. Our whole family does. And I enjoy sharing them with y'all too. So make sure to check out that discount code linked below for 10% off your order. It'll be in the description box below, but let's go ahead and get into this haul. So this is my Nutstop haul. I'll get in here and show y'all what all we got. So this is the dark chocolate cherries. Y'all, these are so good. Oh my goodness, like I'm completely addicted to them. If you have not tried them, you really have to, because they're so good. These are like dried kiwi slices. I'm really excited to try those. I love kiwi. And then we've got some mini peanut butter cups back here. Some of the butterscotch discs. That's my youngest son's favorite. And he also asked for these gummy butterflies. He loves those. And they're so cute too. And then these are like, kind of like the peanut butter, or not peanut butter, but peanut M&Ms. They're called like, I think, milk chocolate peanut gems, so I'm excited to try those because peanut M&Ms are one of my favorites. And then these are some peach slice rings. These are dark chocolate caramelettes, I guess is how you say it. I'm really curious to try those and see how they are. I'm excited to see what they taste like. I love pineapple, so I got some dried pineapple. And then of course we go through pecans like crazy. I feel like we always use them for something. So I've got some of those. These are the milk chocolate peanut patties. They're kind of like turtles, but made with peanuts instead of like pecans. They're really good too. And then I've also got some pumpkin seeds. I always like those. And then we've got some more chocolate covered cherries, but these are milk chocolate. My husband loves these. I love the dark chocolate. So that's all my Nutstop goodies. We can't wait to dig in and try some new things. I'll have my favorites linked down below in the description box, so keep an eye out for that, as well as a discount code for y'all in case you want to try any of these yummy things out. So we really enjoy them every time we get them. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. I hope you have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.